turning dreams into reality. In the lab with the formula and chemistry. Your memories spark and motivate and make the industry shake. You put the balls in the place and talk to one. Yeah, it's one art, one shot. Now the future is yours. Let's go.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay Cuts the Great from Anime Escape and the host of Debate Kings here with another video for you guys. Pretty much what's going to be going down. We talked about anime last week. Now I'm diving into Marvel this week. I got my list here. Top 5 wasted villains. Pretty much what I'm going to do. Go my top 5 wasted villains across the board in Marvel. It doesn't specifically has to be Marvel movies. It can be TV shows, all the good stuff. So, my first, how would I say, my honorary mention is honestly High Evolutionary from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now, the reason why I put him as an honorary mention is because, yes, he was really wasted. Because in the comics, High Evolutionary, he don't come to play. And that's the funny part, because this High Evolutionary, you can tell he's about his business, but it's more of the science side. Now, don't get me wrong, he's that way in the comics and TV shows and stuff like that too, but the High Evolutionary, when it comes to like fighting his opponents, he'll unleash like waves of like I wouldn't even say monstrosities, but like mutations and experiments. Like recently, I forgot what comic it was. He had a mutant with like, I think it was like the DNA of Iceman, and I forgot who else, but like it was like ridiculously powerful, and they were going against the X-Men or something like that, and that one mutant was holding their own, like holding his own against like 5 or 6 X-Men. So like, it's not the fact that he wasn't, he didn't portray his role properly. He portrayed his role. It's just in the movie he seemed more like he was more into science than actually flexing his powers. Don't get me wrong, again, he has powers. But also the reason why he's an honorary mention is because it's still tossed in the wind that we don't know if he's dead or not. We really don't know. I mean, spoilers if you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but even though he was stabbed and left for dead in an exploding ship, that doesn't mean he's dead. That doesn't mean he's dead at all. So, that's why High Evolutionary is my honorary mention. Like I said, he's powerful. He just leans more to the science side, and he's not really confirmed dead or anything like that. So, now I'm swinging for the fences here. My number 5 is God knows, Venom from Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. What can I say that hasn't already been said about Spider-Man 3? And what hasn't said about Venom? You know what? I'll do it better. No, I'll leave it just at Venom. Because it wasn't the fact that Venom was in the movie. It was one fact. It was one who portrayed Venom, who he really did not have. It wasn't even the stature. It was more of like the attitude and stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. I cannot think his name to save my life. The guy from that 70 show. The guy that plays Eric. Yeah. He can act his ass off. He really can. But that role, that was not it for him. That really wasn't it for him. between the jokes, the puns, it really wasn't him. That character was not meant for him. And I'm so happy. Like, they killed him off, and then on top of that, the way they killed him off, so, it's like, oh, it's like, oh well, he's gone. It's like one of those things. It's literally so lackluster. It's like whatever. And then the suit. I'm gonna keep saying the suit. Because, first of all, I know the Venom suit amplifies the strength, reflexes, all that to match Spider-Man and all of the above. But the suit didn't even match the person. It didn't even match him. It didn't even, it did none of that. And it's wild and crazy because, we were like, oh, he get the Venom suit in the third movie, he cutting up and everything like that. Alright, and then it was like, hi, I'm Brock, Eddie Brock. This guy? Really? He's playing Eddie Brock? And then everybody's like, oh, give him a chance, he might be good. No, like I said, the role really wasn't for him. It really wasn't. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. And then they killed him off. Which you'll get the gist of that throughout this whole list. That's one of the major problems too. So that was my number 5. Number 4. I take a pen in it real quick. I talked to my brother about this list, and we have so many people on this list. It's not even funny. Not even funny. So many villains on this list. So, for my number 4, I'm going to say, Yellow Jacket / MODOK from Ant-Man Quantumania. Which that movie was decent, but it wasn't as great as it was supposed to be. Now, the reason why I say Yellow Jacket / MODOK is because, for one, that's an atrocity in itself. The fact that they took 2 completely separate characters and forced them into one person. That's not cool. I understand what they were doing, and I understand the reason why they did it. They had to have some type of additional bad guy assistant or whatever for Kang. But MODOK was never a laughingstock. Ever. Unless you're referring to like the Kid Mogul shows or that MODOK show that was on Hulu. It was like his daily life or whatever, and it was like motion, like stop motion or whatever it was called. Those were like really the only time MODOK was really like ha 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 ha. Other than that, MODOK was not somebody we tried with at all. MODOK was a villain. And the worst part, I swear, it bothers me because watching him in the MCU, in Ant-Man Quantumania, he was such a laughingstock. It's not even funny. Like, it's not even funny. Like, almost every joke we get is from MODOK. From MODOK, which is ridiculous because, like I said, MODOK in every other series is a force to be reckoned with, a legit problem, a concern for people. Like Tony Stark, Captain America, like all of them. He's a problem for all of them. No jokes aside, like none. Like he's legit a problem, and they're forcing this. because they want it to be tied into the story and this and this and this and blah blah blah. It's offensive. I won't even say it's offensive. It's insulting. My apologies. That they would just do that, and I'm like, that's kind of horrible, and they know it because that's why it didn't do great. That's why the movie didn't do great and things of that nature. I just feel like it was just bad. It wasn't bad, but they could have did so much better. They could have did so much better. So yeah, that's my number 4. Number 3, getting into the top 3, and best believe these are going to be very, very interesting. So, my number 3 is Ego the Living Planet, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. This man is in his defense, in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, he was considered like a celestial god or whatever you want to call it. Now, in Marvel, Ego the Living Planet is legit like a force to be reckoned with, but he did not have to go about a plan like that to rule the world or the cosmos. First of all, Ego the Living Planet, if he wants to, he'll pull up on it. That's the funny thing about it. If he really wants something from you, if he really wants something from Earth, he'll pull up on Earth. He might have a hard time, but he'll pull up on Earth. Like, he has no problems. He literally has no problems with doing what he needs to do. He's not an average, like, he's not one of those people who are like, I need to go around the universe and have relations with every species out there and see if I can create the ultimate child being to take over the world so I can use them as a battery to activate this. No. Ego the Living Planet was a complete waste in my mind because just because what was going on with it? Like, that whole going to Earth with a physical being and killing Star-Lord's mom and beings. It was too much. It was too much. It was good, but it was too much. And again, it all boils back down to killing the villains. What they do? Peter Quill activates his god power and fight his daddy Ego. Yeah, that happened. They fight his daddy Ego to a standstill. They destroy Ego's membrane or whatever that gives him his power, and he dies, and Peter loses his power and all that jabba, and all that good stuff, and a whole nother villain gone. Without a second thought about it. And it's funny because it's like they read the comic books, but they stop at a certain point. You know, it's like that joke from was it American? It was like that joke from American Dad where they prank Stan to be the homecoming king, and they drop pigs on him, and the guy was like, "It's supposed to be pig's blood." He was like, "Oh, I didn't finish the book." He was like, "So you literally started reading the book of Carrie and stopped at pigs?" He was like, "You didn't even finish the sentence?" He was like, "I just got bored with it." He's like, "Really? Are you serious right now? Are you serious?" Like, that's another topic for another day. I'm gonna probably dive into that later on when I get back on my one topic thing phase. But literally, they just wasted villains because they just wanted to kill them. But that's no here nor there. Let's go back to our list. I'm sorry I'm getting off topic, guys. I'm a little less organized than normal. To me, my number 2 is really he should have been number 5, only because technically he wasn't killed. But my number 2, because we haven't heard anything from him since. Well, no. It's funny because technically he's gone. Dormammu. The only reason why he's number 2 is because he has the potential to come back, and that's the reason why he's number 2. But also, the way they defeated him was so bogus, man. Like, so, I won't say it's bogus. Let me rephrase that. The way he was defeated was not bogus. I'll take that back completely. The Tom Hoop thing was ingenious. But a promise, though? Promise me you'll never come back and take your acolytes with you. Really? Really? And we hear nothing from this man since? Nothing. Nothing from him since. Nothing at all. So you're telling me I can walk up to Dormammu and be like, hey, bro, I can bargain, right? I want $15 billion, right? With no consequences or repercussions. No one asking me questions or anything like that. And I want you to leave. But I got you the time loop, so you gotta do it. You gotta do it. You ain't got no choice. You got to. You telling me a pinky promise got this man to not come back into the MCU? A pinky promise. And the worst part is I don't know if he's coming back, because I suppose again, if you haven't seen Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and whatnot, what's her name? I can't think of her name to save my life, but she's from, was it Stella? She's pretty much gonna be like Doctor Strange's wife, because she's Doctor Strange's wife. She pops out on him, and we need your help in the Dark Dimension. Now the Dark Dimension is where Dormammu rules. So I want him to come back, but I just felt like it was a waste because you guys waited so long to like sprinkle this man back in. Like, we had forgot about him. Literally, we had forgot about him completely. I'm like, bro, no, like, why is he, okay, he's gone with a promise. Achilles, or whatever his name is, was snatched up and turned into a mindless one, which, again, along with Dormammu, is not more villains that we haven't seen or heard from since. And it's kind of ridiculous. I'm like, bro, like, all this A1 potential, gone. Because pinky promise, like, pinky promise. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little less organized than I normally would be, but yeah. So, okay, that was number 2. My number 1, let's be straightforward with you. I had quite a few number 1s. So, originally, I had chose Ultron. For them to kill Ultron off is a major waste, because the stories you get from the comics with Ultron are amazing. Like the one where he legit takes over the world from the future through Vision in the past. Like, what? Like, if we could have got that in the MCU, that would have been dope. But they killed them off. Then Then Apocalypse. My God, that. Let's just be real, people. Those X-Men movies. They need work. They need a lot of work. A lot of work. Let's just be honest about it. Another one I had almost put at number 1, Quarter Got Butcher from the new Thor movie. It was okay. He was okay. But he wasn't really Quarter God Butcher. He was more of Gore the storyteller to me. Because really, like, Gore had no remorse. If you were a god, you were dead. Gore had no remorse. Gore didn't care. He didn't care if you were kids, anything like that. Oh, you're a god? God what? Oh, you got time? You got to go anyway. It's your time right now. You got to go. But, so, my number 1. It's so fucking bad. Forgive my language, but it's so bad. It's so bad. Galactus. Fantastic Four. First of all. Every damn Fantastic Four live action movie is significant dumpster fire material. Let's just be honest. Okay, I'll do one better because they go right hand in hand. Dr. Doom / Galactus. Right there. Again, every Fantastic Four movie is straight dumpster fire approved. So, touching on Dr. Doom, because Fox I said had because now Marvel does have the rights to Fantastic Four. We're waiting on a new Fantastic Four to come out. Amazing, wonderful. I'm just trying to see how they're going to do it. Hopefully they do it like they did Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man. Don't give us the entire backstory. Just have him like pop up in like the background or something. You know, have them mentioned and then, cut to them in their movie. Beautiful idea. So, back to topic. Every Dr. Doom. It's so horrible. It's so damn horrible. And Dr. Doom is a menace in the comics. He's a menace. What? Oh my gosh. So there's this guy I watch on YouTube. His name is Comics Exploded. Go watch him. If you have any inkling about what I'm saying about Dr. Doom, go watch him. I'm trying to remember the name of the daggone chapter he read. Pretty much, Reed Richards they had found a way to get rid of trash. They opened a miniature black hole on the moon, and they were just going to start sending trash to black hole. Black holes are technically endless, so that solved their trash problem. They had asked Dr. Doom, how does he feel about it? Dr. Doom, being Dr. Doom, was like, I don't want to be part of it because Reed Richards worked sloppy. Someone said something slick to Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom was like, bring him, I'm going to torture him when I get home. Dr. Doom gets home. The next day, he's meditating, and the rockets are launched off. And now he's on a manhunt to see who framed him for shooting rockets and messing up the black hole. This man wrote a damn bear in the Russian tundra or whatever. That Dr. Doom is a menace. Dr. Doom's in the movies. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? One was like a snobby rich guy who just threw his money around because, he knew he had more money and his smarts were close to Reed Richards, and he just wanted to be petty. The other Dr. Doom was just a kid in like an IT group or whatever, or an IT program that got mixed up in dimensional travel and then got lost on the other side. What? Are you serious? Like no scarred face or anything like that, or no background like, oh, my mother was, no, none of that. It's just either rich guy or guy that was trapped in another dimension. That was it. Now, granted, I will give credit to the newer Fantastic Four, because that Doctor Doom, his powers were legit. That's the only good thing I'll say from that. Now, Fantastic Four, Michael B. Jordan, that Doctor Doom's power was legit. His power was legit. But other than that, like the backstory, the premise behind Doctor Doom, every single movie fails this character. And I am hoping Marvel does an amazing job with this Fantastic Four, because Secret Wars needs to be amazing. It needs to be amazing. Matter of fact, it must be amazing. It must be. Because Dr. Doom, God King Doom, problem. Now, the one time they tried to portray Galactus, it wasn't even Galactus. It's so horrible. It's so bad. Like, it was just best way to describe it. So, do you guys for those who has ever watched like Transformers, was it Dark Side of the Moon, where it was a Soundwave had that giant transformer like snake worm that was like burrowing through everything? That plus endless smoke surrounding it, and that was Galactus. That was Galactus. I'm like, bro, what are y'all doing? Galactus is Galactus. There's no ifs, ands, or maybes about Galactus. He show up, he here. There's like, oh, there's smoke in the sky. No, it's, who is this? First of all, is that God? Like, that's really what it's supposed to be. Like, that's how the conversation's supposed to go. There's no ifs, ands, or maybes. Like, seriously. Is God? No, that's Galactus. We know who that is. It's not supposed to be anything else in between or nothing like that. But I do apologize. I'm a little less organized than I normally would be. But it's so hard with the Marvel because there's so many. There's so many. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you guys for watching and listening with us, with me. I do greatly appreciate everything you've done for me. And stay true, stay savage, people.